Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Exercise is Bullshit podcast. I'm your host, Logan Emmett Herlihy, and I'm so excited today to be joined by my close friends and my business colleagues from Reform Fitness, Jake Peast and Xavier Robinson. Xavier's the founder and owner of Reform Fitness, and I'm just so thrilled to have you guys on. I'm going to have you say hello here in just a second, but for those of you who don't know, Reformed is the company I've been working for probably the last 6 to 8 months now. So I was able to move back to Minnesota to be closer to some family and friends, and we've transitioned completely to remote work, doing all virtual, online, one-on-one personal training, and more recently our health coaching offering, which is why I have the rest of the team here to chat today about what that looks like, and then a big promotion that we're running for New Year's. So Zabe, why don't we start with you? Say hello, introduce yourself to our listeners who might not know who you are, and then we'll give Jake a quick introduction as well.
Yeah, first, Logan, of course, thanks for having us on. It's been a long time coming onto the podcast. We talk about it all the time, I feel like, so it's great to be here. For the listeners who haven't met me, don't know me, I've been in the industry for going on 10 years now. This is my ninth year as an exercise physiologist. I studied kinesiology at the University of Minnesota here in Minneapolis. After that, I started working in a more traditional sense in a fitness studio, in a boutique fitness studio, training one-on-one personal training sessions in person. I did that for around 5 years, had an opportunity to take on some other roles at that last company as well. And of course, during that time that I was working there, the pandemic struck and we had to pivot to a completely virtual service at that time as well. And that's kind of when I realized the value that the virtual personal training can bring to somebody, the convenience, the effectiveness, the efficiency of a virtual one-on-one personal training session that's really evidence-based. And that was kind of where Reform Fitness, the idea kind of came to life. A couple years later, I left that last job I was in and went all in on virtual personal training and been doing that for almost three years now with Reform Fitness. And of course, that's when you, Logan, and Jake kind of came on board. We created our health coaching program, our 63-day transformation program. That's why we're here today. And I'll let Jake introduce himself and we can get into that 63-day transformation program.
Love it, Zave. Very similar to Xavier. Logan and I have been colleagues in a different sense, in a, as he said, a boutique studio kind of concept sense for 5, 6, maybe even almost 7 years now. So nothing new when it comes to our methodology and us three working as a true team. And I'm really excited today to talk about why we kind of jump shipped and why we kind of are how we're working with our clients in a more traditional sense when it comes to just kind of day-to-day habits. So I'm really excited to jump into what this offering is going to look like for people.
Yeah, so I'd love to, as we kind of jump into what health coaching is and what does it look like, I think it's important to just give an overall description of it, right? And, as sort of the host here, I don't really want to be, evangelizing too much on your side. So I'll let you guys do all the talking here about what the specifics of everything are. If I feel the need to jump in, I can, but I'm going to really just try to guide the conversation for you two, and you can explain all about the business and the proposition for our listeners. So if they're interested and they're not currently Reform Fitness clients and they've thought about maybe working with a health coach or a virtual personal trainer, they could reach out to you guys or to myself, obviously, and then we could set up that call. So why don't we start with just big picture? Zabe or Jake, feel free to jump in here, but talk to me a little bit about what health coaching actually is, and maybe more specifically, what it is at Reform Fitness, because obviously people hear this term thrown around all the time, and I think it'd be super helpful to kind of give an actual working definition.
Yeah, for sure. I can jump at the bit of this one. And I think that term can be misinterpreted at times. So, in very simple terms, how this idea came up is that we're in a setting of training people one-on-one 30-minute workouts. And I think you guys found out that it was hard to teach people and to really hold people accountable to the other hours that we weren't necessarily seeing them in the gym. Obviously, we gave them recommendations for protein, calories, water, daily movement, sleep, so on and so forth. but it was very difficult for us to actually hold people accountable when we were only seeing them twice a week for 30 minutes. And this is where this idea of health coaching really came to fruition, was how do we actually have a service or a program or 63 days to actually teach people systems, processes of what their actual week should look like to actually help them move forward, whether it is body composition or building lean muscle tissue or both, whatever the ultimate goal is. How do we actually spend 30 minutes throughout the week that's not in their workout, actually teaching and holding people accountable to what they say they want to do? And I think it's really just turning people's words into actions, and so they can actually feel really good after each of their workouts because they know that they're seeing progression, because they know what the other data points should be from their work, from their week to week kind of tangible items.
Yeah,
So
just to build off
just
what,
a quick
oh,
follow up there, Zave,
Yeah.
and maybe you can expound on this too, Jake or Xavier. Is
Hmm?
what I guess where did you come up with the 63 days? What was the
Yeah.
purpose of that 9 weeks for people who are doing the math at home of 7 days a week for 9 weeks? How we got to the 63 days? What was the impetus of that? And
Hmm.
then maybe give us how has that been going so far? What have you
For sure.
noticed? Because obviously as a personal trainer, we've all seen that frustration of, like you mentioned, Jake, not being able to work with that person the other 23 hours of the
Yeah.
day and 6 or 7 days a week. So maybe you can talk to that a little bit, Dave.
Hmm.
yeah, the reason the program is 9 weeks long is pretty simple. Everything we do, personal training wise, is evidence based. So everything that we do health coaching wise is also evidence based, and the evidence is pretty clear. In order to build a strong habit, that takes 9 weeks. And so what we're really trying to do with our health coaching program is it's not a diet, it's not a crash course, it's not a challenge. We're trying to help people build the essential habits they need in order to reach their body composition goals, in order to actually lose fat, keep it off, in order to actually build muscle and retain that muscle. And so 9 weeks is the amount of time it's going to take to actually build the tools, build the habits that you need in order to create the goal or reach the goal that you're getting to. And your second question was, how is that going for people? And I would maybe turn that around to you two as the people who have done the most health coaching at Reform Fitness. And I think you guys can really speak to what the client's results are, both tangibly as far as statistics go, as far as their body composition, but also just the energy and how they're feeling as well. Jake, I'll let you kind of take over from there.
Yeah, and Jake, I'd love to hear some personal experiences with that. I think maybe it would be beneficial too to sort of explain a little more in depth of, we've mentioned the word habits a few times now. What does the habits of the 9 week program look like, and how are you helping clients implement that into their daily processes?
Yeah, so I guess the first question is, how is it going? I would say that every single person that we have seen has lost anywhere between 1 to, I think, even like 6% body fat in the course of 9 weeks. And again, I want to make sure to reiterate again that this isn't a challenge. We're not telling people what winning and losing is. It's more so actually creating this kind of foundation. So when we do stop working together, whether that is in 9 weeks or 2 years, you can relatively continue to keep that momentum that you built because you know what those kind of healthy habits are. I'm going to argue that having kind of a partner in crime or an accountability partner, you're going to continue to see better results, just like when a personal trainer trains you. But the main goal is to teach people those day-to-day habits. And your second question was roughly what are those habits? We know that if we can just be really good with a caloric goal, getting your strength training workouts in, daily movement, sleep, water, in addition to protein, I would say if we can get really good at the mundane, the boring, you don't need to necessarily go on a crash diet. You don't need to do a juice cleanse, things of that. If we can just get really good at these kind of boring, mundane things, there's probably a 99.9% chance you're going to see body composition results.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so to
that's
really
great. And
summarize what our 63-day program is, it's essentially 9 weeks. You meet with our health coach once per week throughout those 9 weeks, and you build habits around structured exercise, daily movement, nutrition, hydration, and sleep. Those 5 habits, like Jake laid out. That's in a nutshell what you're experiencing when you do our 63-day transformation program.
So talk to me just a little bit, and then we'll get into sort of the real reason why we're here, which is to promote the New Year's program that we're going to be launching around this 63-day transformation program. But for the clients who have completed it so far, I think you hinted at this a little bit, Jake. But is it 9 weeks and then they're done forever? What does the program look like? Do they have long term companionship there that they can continue with? Talk to me a
Yep.
little bit about how the program is structured for the people who have gone through and maybe are
Yep.
continuing to still train.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Obviously, Xavier mentioned that the research is pretty clear that it roughly takes us 60 days or 9 weeks to create some new routine habit. So yeah, we have a continuation, whether that is another full 9 weeks, because hey, I think I got really good at two or three of these, but my other maybe two or three are still lacking. I need someone to truly be kind of with me every step of the way again. So hey, let's redo a full another 9 weeks. We also have kind of like a month to month continuation, I'll call this, where, hey, someone has kind of got this foundation of habits. But as I mentioned, we know that they're going to see better results if they still have to report to someone basically once a month. We're going to be a resource for them. So if anything does come up, basically from sunrise to sunset, shoot me a text message, email, whatever that is. I'm going to be very responsive. But it's really, hey, you feel like you can go back to your workouts, great. You feel like we need another 9 weeks, great. Hey, let's go back to just kind of a month kind of sit down and meeting. But really, it's I always call it our secret sauce is that someone that's there to report to you, right? A lot of people know what to do these days. They just don't want to do it. And if someone is holding you accountable to do what you say you're going to do, the odds of you seeing results are just so much higher.
Yeah, and I can second that just anecdotally as well with the quite a few clients that I've gone through this process with too. It's been profound to just see again the simplicity of the habits. It's I mean it's not rocket science that we're doing here. It's just utilizing the ability to have somebody hold you accountable and a trusted partner in this process, right? And more than anything, I've had people come to me when they've seen results and say, most of why I continued to do this was because I knew that I had to come back and report it to you, and I didn't I didn't want to lie about it. And it's like, we can sit here all day and you can tell me that you didn't lose weight for 2 weeks straight and report that you did all the right stuff, but we both know that that's not the case and that you're lying, right? And most of the people that we work with are adult enough to realize like, hey, I need to take accountability for this stuff. And it's been really cool to see sort of the light bulb click on when some people maybe start off a little slower and then all of a sudden it's like they get it. Like, oh yeah, I can't just not do this and expect to get results like I have with every other thing in my life. I actually have to put in the work here. And it's not super challenging. It's just again staying consistent, doing these things on a continual basis. So that's been really cool, I think, for all of us to see. So talk to me a little bit, Zave, about what the price for this program is, because again, you see all kinds of stuff online, programs starting for free, right? People are just giving away nutrition programs and trying to just get emails on their email list. And then, we've seen stuff where it's $10,000 for, 2 months to work with somebody. So where does the Reform Fitness program kind of fall along that spectrum? What can people expect to get for that price? And then maybe from there we can kind of transition into talking about this Black Friday deal that we're going to be running.
Yeah, so the typical investment for our health coaching programs for the 9 weeks is going to be a $2,000 investment. And we get different reactions across the board. Some people, like I said, who have a pretty good pulse on the health coaching industry are saying, oh, that's actually a great deal because they kind of know what's coming with that deal. And then, of course, people who are unfamiliar with what a health coach can actually help them accomplish kind of see that and get a little sticker shock. So let me speak on what you actually get. Of course, we've already talked a little bit about this, but it's someone who is truly a health mentor on your team throughout every single day and every single week. Like you guys both mentioned, we're not breaking ground with these habits that we're teaching people to implement. But what we're doing a great job is actually helping them implement those habits in a way that's really efficient with their busy lives. The key to this is everyone has a busy life, especially a lot of our clients who are executives, lawyers, doctors, just high performing individuals everywhere in their professional life. and they feel like they don't have the time to actually implement a healthy lifestyle out there outside of work. And so we're doing it in a way that's really efficient and really effective. Like Jake spoke on, we've had everyone see a loss of at least 1% body fat, of closer to 6% in just 9 weeks. And of course, the people that continue longer continuously see results. So it's getting someone who's truly an advocate on your team. You're meeting with them once a week, but anytime a question comes up, you can text, call, email, however you like to communicate. You have someone in your corner 24/7 helping answer questions for you. If you're at a restaurant, you're at a grocery store and a question comes up about which thing to buy, you have them recommending personal recommendations for you every step of the way, from exercise to daily movement to nutrition. It's truly a personalized experience. There's absolutely no two people that get the same recommendation, absolutely no two people that have the same exact routine. And that's why we think this is a really competitive price point, because of the value that we are truly bringing on a daily basis, and especially weekly basis with those meetings. And super excited to talk about this Black Friday deal that we have coming up around our New Year's revolution starting in January.
So tell me a little bit, because I think, when people really start to understand what they're getting from a value perspective and having access to a health coach all the time, it really becomes a no-brainer from just a price perspective. So that's where we've all been really excited, because I think it's just reaching more people is kind of the approach that I've had, at least with what we're doing for the New Year's Revolution. So maybe talk to us a little bit about what is going to be included in the price. Maybe let's talk first, actually, about what people are getting, right? So,
Yeah.
besides the normal 9-week health coaching program, what's going to be a little bit different about this program, something that we're hoping to kick off this year and continue to do year over year to just grow and expand? So, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what the program is going to look like, how it's going to be even better than the really effective program we've already had so far for our clients?
Yeah, before we even jump into that, Logan, I'd love to just kind of talk about why we even wanted to come up with
Yeah,
this
let's
New
do it.
Year's program, this New Year's revolution. So, um, obviously, so many people have goals coming into a new year, whether you call it a New Year's resolution or you just have a reset on some focus. And I saw a statistic, 48% of New Year's resolutions are related to a health or fitness goal. And we also know most people don't reach their New Year's resolution. I made a video about this last year, but the second Friday of January is called National Quitting Day, because by then 80% of people who made a New Year's resolution have quit by the second Friday in January. So knowing that so many people like to refocus on fitness to start the new year, and so many people fail when they refocus on fitness to start the New Year's, we thought our health coaching program is the perfect thing that will help people actually get to their goals and continue their goals throughout the rest of the year. So that was the reason we wanted to come up with something really special to kick off the new year. And we're excited to launch that. People can start signing up for that on Black Friday, but let's talk about what's going to make it different. And the biggest thing that these first 9 weeks, starting on January 6th, going through March 7th, the first 9 weeks of the new year, we're trying to build a community around our health coaching program. We know that people see great results from a health coach, but they see even better results when they have a health coach and they're doing it within a community of people who are experiencing like situations and are trying to reach similar goals to themselves. So the way we're building this community is with an exclusive Facebook group for our New Year's revolution. And it's, again, the first 9 weeks of the year. In this Facebook group is going to be everyone that is in for the first 9 weeks. Everyone who's in this program from January 6th to March 7th is going to be in that same Facebook group. And what makes this Facebook group really valuable is us health coaches, we're all going to be in there providing value with weekly videos, weekly live video seminars as well. But we're also bringing in outside resources as well, outside guest experts from around the industry, fitness, health coaching, mindset, leadership. We're bringing in outside experts to provide even more value with exclusive content within the group. We've got themes for each week where we're really going to help provide extra value on top of where we normally provide value in our one-on-one health coaching setting. So really, they get everything that comes with our normal health coaching program. And then they're also a part of this awesome community that provides them more value and allows them to celebrate each other's wins and help each other through each other's common struggles as well.
Yeah, that's so great. And Jake, I want you to jump in too if there's anything else you want to add to that. But I think it's important, to note as well that one of the things I've seen, at least in health coaching, is that it starts with these basic 5 habits that we talked about, which are, again, they're not rocket science. They're pretty straightforward. It's just the accountability piece to really get the wheels turning on that stuff. And one of the things I've seen is I've continued with coaching clients, whether they've done another 9 weeks, which I've had quite a few, or they've done month to month, which I've had quite a few, is we end up tending to branch into other aspects of life, right? So you talked about the mindset coaching, you talked about leadership, all these other things that people care about, but you can't do everything all at once, right? In a 9 week kind of course, typically initially. So to have those things sort of built on over time has been really beneficial for people. And you start to see adding in a 5 minute meditation habit makes a huge difference over the course of the rest of their day. But they had no intention of doing that at all when they first started, right? So I'm just really excited to see some of these other experts who all of them are close friends and colleagues of us at the Reform Fitness team. But Jake, please jump in and if there's anything else you want to add in there as well.
Yeah, I think maybe I got one of two things. I think you mentioned something very valuable is that initially when people come to us, we're called a health coach. We're talking about all things kind of health, wellness, fitness related. But as people progress and get some of these habits down, yeah, we're almost going to branch this off. So it's like a well-rounded, almost like how can we just make you a better husband, wife, father, daughter, coach. And I have people that are working on habits of like going to church or reading the Bible or spending more quality time with their kids. It's yes, we are selling a health coaching service, but it's almost kind of revolutionized into how can we just make this person a better human being just as a whole itself. And then I think Xavier mentioned something else important of a community. And I think we have a lot of people that are within our community, but we're in a virtual sense. A lot of our clients don't know each other or interact with each other, even though the cool thing is that they're going through very similar, almost life experiences, running businesses and having families and having kids and stuff like that. So I just think that this us bringing a group together is just going to bring a lot of value to our clients that don't really know each other right now, but could just have a lot of beneficial kind of knowledge because they're going through similar situations right now.
Yeah, that's so great. And again, something I think if there is anything missing from the virtual training space, which I would argue, our clients are getting as much value, if not more than most people who are going into a physical location, just based on knowledge, experience, the type of environment that we're bringing. The one thing that we have been lacking, which I don't actually hear that often, but I know that if people could have it, they would want it, is community, right? So the ability to build some community and help people really, celebrate each other's wins, right? Because it's funny. I actually do know quite a few clients that know each other. I have this little niche in this pocket of the Upper Peninsula where I've got about 4 or 5 clients that all kind of, encourage each other. But they love that. They feed off of it. They all know it. They're talking about their workouts, and it's exactly what we're talking about here. And we have so many people that are like-minded, that do have similar jobs, do have similar careers, do have similar family lives and experiences, that I think the ability to share those things and celebrate wins and overcome losses together is just going to be so invaluable. Okay, so Zave, tell me, I'm in, right? Like I'm listening to this. I've even already done health coaching. I'm so excited to do this next version, this New Year's revolution. So what does it cost? Talk to me about the different price points and what people are getting from that, and how are we really incentivizing people to build that community together?
Yeah, absolutely. So for our New Year's revolution, for the first 9 weeks of the year, it's going to be 25% off. And that's starting on Black Friday, November 29th. If you sign up between November 29th and December 31st, all the way to the end of the year, sign up, lock it in, lock in your seat for starting in the new year, starting on January 6th. That's going to be 25% off of our normal price. So $1,500 per person. but we're really trying to, like you said, incentivize a community feel and a community aspect. And we know people are going to be more likely to join the community and engage in the community if they already know a couple people within that community. So if you're joining with a partner, a friend, a colleague, if you're joining as a pair of two or more, it's 50% off. So $1,000 per person, $2,000 for the two couple, friends, partners, whatever the case may be. And like I said, that's really because we want to create that community feel. Another aspect I'm excited that's going to be just for these first 9 weeks for this community is the person who sees the largest improvement in their body composition either builds the most muscle, loses the most fat. It's really the largest change in body fat percentage is going to get $500 to upgrade their home gym or to use towards a local gym membership if they choose to use it towards that as well. But $500 to upgrade their gym experience and to use for their virtual one-on-one personal training. So we're super excited to announce the Black Friday deal to the end of the year, and super excited about the prize for the person who sees the largest change to start the new year.
Yeah, I think that's just a killer deal. I mean, even the 25% off is obviously a huge markdown, but I love that we came up with this idea to incentivize more action and more people together, and getting the entire family to jump in for what it might cost for, two people to do it. Normally you could have four people doing it, right? So it's just awesome to I think internally we can all feel the excitement already, and how stoked we are to just get people excited to be working together and working as a team and really trying to accomplish something great. And I think the $500 that giveaway is such a cool extra incentive. Obviously, we know we can kick your butt with almost no equipment at all, just a towel and your body weight. But how cool would it be if you've had your eye on a piece of equipment that you've wanted to upgrade your gym for a while, and it just was maybe a little bit didn't make sense in the budget. Now it's like you get to look awesome because you're going to lose so much weight and feel so good at the end of 9 weeks, and you get to add that set of power blocks or the bench or whatever it is that you maybe had your eye on. Anything else you want to add in there, Jake, as well?
Yeah, I want to touch on one more thing and why I think the two people and 50% off is such a cool kind of pushing item or tangible thing is that I think we've all worked with people that their spouse is still kind of like, hey, let's go out to happy hour, let's go get ice cream, whatever it is, right? And it's not that they're not seeing results because most of the time they still are, but it's just been harder for them to see the results because their partner or spouse isn't going through that same exact thing. So I just think this is also a great time for a husband and wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, to also just do something together for themselves. And I about guarantee they're going to see better results because they're on the journey together, not only with the community and with us, but they are in a community as a couple as well.
Yeah, and I know we don't want to give away necessarily too much, Dave, as far as the specifics of what we're going to be doing over the course of the 9 weeks from the outside experts, and we still have some feelers out for who exactly is going to be joining us. We have a pretty good idea of all the pros that are going to be part of this whole thing, but maybe talk to us a little bit more about the why of going a little bit deeper in some of these topics. These are the things that people are concerned about, right? The questions that we're getting on a regular basis. Why is it important to maybe have a round table for 20 minutes with some experts, and also get some outside eyes and perspective besides just the Reform Fitness team?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really wanted to bring in outside experts because these are going to be people that are in the industry but have so much experience, client-facing experience, where between us three, we've seen almost everything that there is to see. But when we bring in a panel of experts that are not only within the exercise industry but in adjacent industries as well, we are really filling in the gaps of our knowledge and where we would maybe otherwise make an outside recommendation. We're bringing in those people now to provide value, answer questions that we may not think of or we may not actually know the answer to. And that's why I'm really excited about these panel of experts. So like you said, we pretty much have these all nailed down. What exactly they're going to be bringing onto the table is kind of going to be left up to them. And I think that's a really exciting thing. We're not telling them what to bring from a value standpoint to this group. We want them to bring their own perspectives, their own voice, and create value within the content, but also just the interaction that they have within our clients in the community. When our clients ask a question, we're going to have the people in the community to answer those questions, anything health and wellness related.
Yeah, and I think it's super important, and I know we do a really good job of this at Reform, but of also having that sort of growth mindset and mentality to realize that you don't have all the answers for everything, and that we trust outside experts, and we continue to cultivate our network of trusted leaders in different industries and fields, so that when we don't know the answer to something, we can have a trusted ally that we can send somebody to. So I'm just really excited because all the people that we know and trust are just fantastic humans as well. And I know our clients and our participants are going to really love interacting with them. And hopefully they'll make new relationships. They'll be able to refer to people who maybe live in the cities of these experts that we're going to be bringing into, who haven't had the opportunity to work with Reform. So we really just want to create this open dialogue and community, and just hope that that grows and grows over time. I think the other thing I want to highlight too before we move on to how can people really learn more, get started, get signed up now before Black Friday, is really what are we going to be covering from a topic perspective too? And again, not going super into detail now, but just know that it's going to be the things that you want the answers to, right? We get a lot of similar questions in our coaching. We get a lot of similar questions in our personal training, and we want to really take the time to dive deep. Now, obviously we do that in some of our email materials. We do that in some of our videos that we're posting on LinkedIn and on social media, but to have everybody in this group together, focused, actually wanting to learn in a specific space, I think there's going to be so much value from a learning perspective for our participants too, that they're really going to feel empowered about their own health and wellness. Anything else to add there, Zave or Jake? Awesome. Okay, so I'm definitely in now. I'm ready to go. How do I sign up yesterday? What do I do if I want to learn more? Where do I go on the website to get all signed up? Just take my money. How do I give you my money? Take my money now.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get scheduled, we always start with a free discovery call. It's just our opportunity to hear you out a little bit more and understand exactly where you are and understand if and how we can help you. And so to get scheduled for a free discovery call, you'll head to reformedfitness.com. I'm sure you'll put that link in the description, Logan, but it's reformed-fitness.com. And you're going to click the book free discovery call in the top right corner. That link is all over the website, but top right corner, you're going to book free discovery call, and you can schedule that discovery call with any one of the three of us. Once you click that link, it's going to take you over to our scheduling software, Vagaro. You're going to click free discovery call. You're going to select a day and time that works best for you. Our calendar is always going to be in Central Standard Time, so if you're not in Central Time, just watch out for that. But reformedfitness.com, schedule that free discovery call. That's a 15 to 30 minute phone call. And then from there, you'll start on January 6th is our first day. That's the first Monday of the full week of the new year. That will be your first week where you'll do an onboarding consultation with your health coach.
Yeah, and then Jake, for maybe our clients who already have done coaching in the past, maybe they've finished the 9 weeks, they've done some month-to-month coaching, but they're really excited about starting back up and doing this to kick off the new year. How should they be approaching their coach when they're
Yep.
talking in session? What can they do? Obviously, they could still do the discovery call, but maybe some recommendations for them if they're interested in getting set up.
Yep, I think the easiest thing is shooting me a text message or email, or shooting Logan, obviously you, a text message or email. I think I said it best maybe a half hour ago was, hey, you guys we have taught you the basics, but really the secret sauce is having someone in your corner. And there's also a lot of research that shows that the kind of like the new beginning, as in like Mondays or January 1st, like that, or like a new month, we always have a lot more just motivation psychologically. So I would say that's probably the best time for us to all hit the ground running. And something maybe to our listeners we haven't mentioned, but actually Xavier, Logan, and I, we're all doing the same exact thing starting tomorrow, actually. Because again, we as individuals know what we should be doing, but we know we're going to see better results because I have to report to Xavier, I have to report to Logan and tell him that I didn't eat my calories like I said I was. So I would say, how do you? Shoot me a text, email, phone call. Let's chit chat for 5-10 minutes and catch back up. But let's make sure that we're ready to hit the ground running once that turn of the calendar year of 2025 comes towards us.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so to recap for everyone, obviously it's going to be the 9 weeks again. We're going from January 6th all the way to March 7th. Not too many holidays or anything coming up in that time frame. So really good time to not have to worry about excuses as far as, oh, I've got to get together for Thanksgiving or Christmas or all that stuff's behind us. We're ready to go. So it's going to be those 9 weeks. If you've never done the program, if you've done it 3 times, doesn't matter. You're getting 25% off. It's $1,500 for the 9 weeks. If you've never heard of Reform Fitness, but you found us through this podcast, $1,500, 25% off. If you can find somebody on the street, your mom, your sister, just some random person you pull in, you guys get 50% off for every person past 2, right? So it could be 10 of you doing it together in your fantasy football as part of your, playoff push to lose weight before next season, whatever it is, right? Get everybody together, $1,000 a piece, 50% off. And then the biggest thing is obviously you're going to get that community. We're going to be bringing in those outside experts. You're going to have a ton of resources, a ton of additional value to what we already provide in our health coaching program. Is there anything I missed? Those deep dives, the community. What am I missing here before we wrap this up, guys?
I would say the only other thing, and this will be mostly for our current clients, one of our live seminars is going to be us actually getting to go through a workout. So you're going to see us get crushed in a workout. And I know our clients always love to see, whether if it's videos or us live in a workout, but they love to see us getting crushed in a workout. So that's going to be the 9th week, the last week. You're going to see us as part of a live seminar. We're going to be doing some educating around actual workouts and things like that. But just a chance for all of you guys to see us go through a workout and take our medicine, just like we love to do for so many of you.
I love that. Awesome. So if you guys are interested in learning more, all of our emails are just our first name at reform-fitness.com. So Logan at reform-fitness.com. Jake, not Jacob, correct? Jake at reform-fitness, and then Xavier at that's hard to say, reform-fitness.com. So if you've got any questions, or go to the website, book the discovery call, feel free to reach out to any of us. We can't wait to hear from all of you. And then if you're hearing this podcast, you're already a client and you want to learn a little bit more, or set up, like Jake said, another 5 or 10 minute quick call, just to dial in on everything and make sure you get signed up for that New Year's program. We are so excited to launch this, so excited to see the results people are going to get. And I think, it's been so beneficial for our clients so far, but I can't wait to see how those results just compound when we add in that community piece. And, to be part of the first version of this New Year's revolution, and what's sure to be just a continuing experiment going forward, and growth and community. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Everyone, thank you for listening. If you've got any questions, feel free, like I said, again, to reach out to all of us. And thank you so much for listening to Exercise is Bullshit.